I've seen Jair Zapata in training, and he bled while he was working out, and he didn't mind bleeding. He kind of enjoyed it. So I know Jair definitely is going to give us a good fight to watch.
I think in that fight I saw Jair, he broke his toe. In one of his fights, he broke his toe.
Saw him bleed from the nose just a week ago when I visited their camp in Chetumal.
I don't know. Again, I don't know Jair's strength as yet, but definitely, just knowing Alexander, you don't want to go on the ground with him. You know, this is a jiu-jitsu tactician. He's very strong. He's like Mr. Fantastic. You have him on the ground. His arms are going all over the place. His legs are going over the place. He's a pretty long guy, so that's a very big advantage for Alexander in the ring as a grappler. Both fighters top gloves. Basic jab. That is fight. Jabs. Trying to get him out. Keeping away. Oh, beautiful kick. Oh, Superman punch. Yeah, but Jair is tough. He's a tough
Alexander.
guy. Yeah. Alexander gotta be very careful from Jair's striking. But basically Alexander is just gonna do light jabs and so forth to keep him at bay. You know, because his game is trying to get him on the ground. That's where his strength is. And right now in the early rounds, that's where
combinations of punches and kicks.
Yes. Oh, beautiful head kick.
That's a
Jair with a block.
Yeah, that's a good long.
Quick reaction. Another front kick.
That's
Jair seems to be toying with Alexander.
Jair,
baiting him.
Very good. Oh, that very good.
Baiting him. Oh, beautiful combination by Alexander.
Marks.
But Jair again, he seems very tough. He seems to be sizing up Alexander well. Time him in the punch, time him to when to do a counter.
Alicia definitely getting some points with those kicks. Definitely having fun.
Yes. Alexander is very a smart fighter also, so he has a good presence.
He's definitely trying to work on the Mexican.
A beautiful head kick.
Showing that he's too.
Another head kick. Block. Alexander is fast also. Another head kick. Block. Another head kick.
Definitely
Block.
Mexican
combo.
Kicks to the head and
front kick keeping at bay. That front kick is like a jab. It's equal to a jab. It doesn't have much power behind it, but it keeps your opponent at bay.
Yes. That one resounded.
Mr. Fantastic stretching out his legs, making that big space between each other. There goes the first round.
See, that's a lot of love between the two.
A beautiful display.
But I think it is, and I think that's one of the reasons why both fighters kept their distance, because they both know, and they both showed us that they can kick. They definitely can throw those legs.
Alexander has more reach over Jair in this fight, yeah.
You know, like I always compare him to Mr. Fantastic. His arms just stretches out there. His legs also does the same thing. And definitely his reach is going to be a big advantage later down in the fight.
We're continuing live up to 8:30, and if there are any fights that are pending, we come back half hour later. We can pick up where we took off after the Mega Bingo. So once we go past 8:30, we come back at 9 o'clock again after the Mega Bingo with the remainers of the fight.
Okay.
And tomorrow, I believe we're also going to have a repeat of the entire event on Channel 5.
Oh, awesome. That's going to be awesome. Again, they started back with their kicking, trying to keep each other at bay. Both fighters are just basically cancelling out each other. So it's a very technical match. It's a very technical match with the striking. You know, Jair trying some head movements, trying some bob and weave, you know, trying to get Alexander off guard a little bit.
The Mexican did his homework, then he knows that he shouldn't try to get on the ground with Belizean, because clearly, as you mentioned before, he has more skill.
Yes, he's a jiu-jitsu tactician, so he doesn't want to be on the ground with Alexander. But Alexander seems to be dictating the pace of the match. You know, so he's pretty much in control of the match. The judges definitely going to consider
Oh,
that.
there we go. Let's look at
A
the
beautiful
round.
spin back kick. Actually, Alexander is surprising me, doing so many striking. I was
he
expecting him
It
to.
does look like he's enjoying himself.
Yes, definitely. Early on, he was jumping around the ring, getting rid of those nerves, doing some shadow boxing,
Yes, that one definitely stunned a lot.
But like I say, those Thai kicks will tell. They tire the Thai a lot. They really do a lot of damage on the longer run. Collectively, they're very devastating, So more of those Thai kicks, more of those long kicks to the Thai. He's going to weaken Jair's leg, and Jair's is going to stand. He's going to limp around it. He's not going to be as nimble as he is right now.
This seems to will be going the full 3 rounds.
It definitely is. I think we're getting our money's worth here. Oh, beautiful kick to the head. Oh, he seems to be gouging the eye. He was gouging the eye. But he seems to be okay. There goes the second round. And we're going to the third round. It's going the full stretch.
Who do you think dominated this round, Mario?
I'm going with Alexander.
You sure that's not a biased decision?
In all fairness, Alexander is dictating the pace of the match. The Belizeans are very fortunate. We have three very experienced cornermen. We have both 3 fighters who had fought before. We have Ralph, the Bone Crusher. We have Jamil, the Iceman, former welterweight champion. And we also have Lester Alvarado. He's a very great guy also on the ground. So he has very good coaches there telling him what to do and where he needs to make his correction. So they're in good hands right now.
So you think Alexander's gonna show some sweet moves when he get the competitor on the ground?
I hope so, but like I said, in this late stage of the match, it's really, like I said before, it's harder to go on the ground because your bodies are all greased up from the sweat and you cannot really lock in submission.
There you go, last round.
And there goes the beginning of the third round. Both fighters trying to intensify their strikes. That reach is definitely a big advantage to Alexander Marin. Some basic jab, cross. That reach is definitely affecting Jair. Jair looks like he's going down. Oh man, there he goes to the ground. This is where Alexander is strong. Oh no, he gotta get out of that ground and pound. He gotta get out of that from that position. He gotta move away. But Alexander, he definitely can work some submissions from that position. There he goes. He has his back. There, that jiu-jitsu. There he has to get his right leg into the midsection of Jair to get his hooks in. Jair is definitely aware of that and trying to fight away from it. But he's trying. There he has his hooks in. All know that Alexander needs to do is to lock in that rear naked choke, sliding that forearm below the chin and just pull up, and there, that would be pretty much it. The hand is going in slowly. There, Alexander again keeping his hooks in. No, that's a Jair is in a dip. Jair is trying to muscle his way out of that.
He's trying.
Out of that chokehold, and he seems to be getting it. But again, gravity is against him. All favor is in Alexander's Marin. There goes the time. Alexander trying some light strike to soften him up. Try to get him that submission.
Still,
There it goes.
if we go to the refs,
There it goes.
we will go to the referees. I think it was a good fight, but from what I've seen, our Belizean fighter, he brought more combinations, a lot more kicks. I thought it was a very good fight for both. It's not a loss to the Mexican, but our Belizean, to me, has to win this fight. Crowd got on the feet for that. So we know we have 2 very good fighters that were in the ring. that camaraderie that we always see within the sport itself.
Definitely that last round would be go to Alexander, so that would be his big favor in it with the judges, because he was the one who was dominating that pace of the third round, definitely, and he took down Jair and had him work immediately on his submission, which was a rear naked choke. He didn't get it in, but much more of the time Jair had to try to get out of that situation, because he was pretty much sitting up there, you know.
We have the decision now. As expected.
Almost jumped up and down on that one.
It's been a good night for Belize.
Yeah.
I love the sportsmanship in this.
With a unanimous decision, all judges favored Alexander throughout all the rounds. All the judges were in favor of Alexander, and that's why it was an unanimous
Alright,
decision.
so the next fight is starting. Alexander Salam.
Yes, this next fight is against Alexander Salam and Darwin Sandoval. Alexander Salam is pretty much a strong guy. He's from the Southern Shotokan Karate Academy. He's a strong guy. He fought before. Darwin Sandoval also, he's a very much experienced fighter also. So this should be a pretty much good match also.
Constant action. Team working on their fighters, making sure that they're all Darwin Sandoval, Mexican national. Alright, kids being locked.